And here we are live on a Monday afternoon. A little chaotic. People don't know what really goes on
I
before
know.
the show starts.
Behind the scenes, if you had any idea.
Yeah.
Because we don't. So if you have any idea, let us know. But no, it's always
people
fun.
freaking out, and the dogs and cats sleeping together, all types of chaos going on. But we are live on the road beyond. Welcome. I'm Todd Duplantis with my co-host Doug O'Brien.
Yes, George, let's just mention, since we're about the road beyond, the Super Bowl yesterday.
I did. I watched some of it.
It was not a normal Super Bowl.
No, it was, that was about as much of a dumpster fire as you could hire.
It was like a scrimmage game for
for
the Eagles to get a little workout.
Well, all the professional football players started posting like afterwards. Well, I guess we can put this whole referee cheating thing to the end, put it to bed now.
Yep.
Well, no, that's not true, because the refs did not help them yesterday. That's why they lost. They were exposed.
True. They even missed a blatant hand to the face.
Oh, I know. They were like, boy, we're just
strip sack.
Yeah, I mean, you hit Mahomes, you get 15 yards. But yeah, Super Bowl's over. Did you watch the halftime show?
I did. Yeah. And I know there's been a lot of talk about it. Yeah. Being in radio and music, I thought, forget about the genre of music.
Right.
It was just kind of meh.
It
really wasn't much. I mean, Kendrick Lamar is great.
Yeah.
His music.
Well, I saw him on the Grammys a few years ago. That's when I first saw him. Was at the Grammys. He did a live performance. Like, this guy's really good. I was expecting more out of it, but I guess they dissed Drake.
Oh yeah, that's what his whole album is about. It's all dissing Drake and calling him something other than what he is.
Some allegations.
Yeah, and he won a Grammy. That same album won Grammys just last weekend or weekend back. So it was interesting. The problem for me with a rap show concert is that there's just not a lot going on. You and I grew up with rock bands, Alice Cooper, Ozzy Osbourne. So they put on a show. You got 4 or 5 guys up there dancing, jumping, pyrotechnics. Rap is just a different vibe.
If you can think of off top of your head, your top 2 Super Bowl performances.
Oh, pretty easy. I would definitely say Prince when he did Purple Rain and It Started Raining.
Yeah.
The other one, I know a lot of people don't say it, but I believe it was U2.
Yeah.
When they did all
right after 9/11.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that one was very, very powerful.
Yeah.
So those two. And I actually posted on, I work at Houston's Eagle radio station. I posted on our page the very first Super Bowl halftime show.
Yeah, which was Hello Dolly, wasn't it?
Well, it was marching bands, show tunes, birds, and guys in jetpacks, which we never got, and I'm still upset about today.
We need to bring the jet back.
I don't have a Jetsons life, and that bothers me to this day. But yeah, I thought he did okay. It's just the show itself just was a little underwhelming. But SZA was great on the show as well.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Maybe next year we can always hope. Who knows? Metallica still should get a.
I wish they would do the blending, like have Kendrick, but also have like a rock act.
They used to do that.
Yeah, I know.
And like Aerosmith and Britney Spears.
Right. So then you get more of an audience joining in, and those collaborations I think are really interesting.
That was when MTV produced it. They're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, and now it's all corporatized.
So we want to welcome you to our afternoon show here. We're live at the HCC TV studios with the Road Beyond podcast, and we've got probably some of the most interesting and compelling content you're going to see for the next half hour. A number of things that we're showing today. But first, Doug, we want to remind everybody about our social media.
Don't forget to follow us. We're easy to find. Just you can look up at the Road Beyond podcast. Very simple.
Beyond podcast. All right. So, okay. Big news last week. There was a Florida congresswoman came forward, Paulina Luna. She's also on one of the committees that investigates UAPs, She made this announcement on X. Then take a look at the announcement because we've got the screenshot of it. She posted that she's going to have an announcement. Can we see the announcement? Are you able to see it? See if we can get the picture of it on there. Oh, hi. Hey. Hey, Nathan.
That's our producer.
That was our director.
That's right. Director.
Working away hard. Anyway, she made an announcement on X last week talking about the fact that she's going to release groundbreaking new information, which is going to be literally of importance to the whole country. People are saying disclosure. What do you got?
I hope that this happens. I don't know if I believe it will happen because now politics has become, political theater. Right. So you make a big splash, but then do they ever follow through? So fingers crossed we find out something. But we do have, I know today, some very interesting footage, which is still coming. It took a break, it seems, at the beginning of the year.
Now it's coming
we're just
back
getting
again.
flooded with it.
First one we want to show you, this is the dark side of the moon, and they're saying these are structures on the moon. Take a look at the video there. They're going to zoom in, and you're going to see some lights, literally lights coming from the moon. Let's see if there you go. You can kind of see them at the bottom part of your screen there.
Oh, yeah.
So they're saying that there are structures on the moon. Now, part of the news that she apparently is going to talk about tomorrow is that these beings aren't extraterrestrial rather than interdimensional. I don't know if they've got, like a Radio Shack and a McDonald's on the moon, but you never know what can happen these days. LA, you heard about the drones in Jersey.
Yeah.
Take a look at what the heck is going on in LA. This is either some really good AI or some pretty good video. Millennium Falcon coming in for a landing there. I mean, that's pretty good stuff. And this is obviously over the water. And you've talked about this.
Yeah, it always happens over the water. And I believe we had Daryl Sims on last week, who's a UAP expert, and he mentioned it as well, that they're getting out, I believe, past that 12-mile marker, which is international waters after that. So then practically really anybody can do anything out there.
And you're talking about possibly having some base out there.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of sightings in USOs or unidentified submerged objects. That's been coming up. This next one, though, I thought it was quite interesting because the X poster called it a Palladian light ship.
Okay, before we get to it, what the heck is a Palladian light ship?
Well, you're going to see it right here because we've got a new one. They're saying this is a Palladian, not just a UFO or a UAP, but Palladian light ship. Now, the Palladians are some extraterrestrial beings, a race of them, they're saying, who have made themselves known over the past century.
They must be old school because they've gone back to the disc shape.
We're getting back to the
They've gotten away from the triangles and the weird shapes.
Yeah.
They're going back to the pie saucer type.
Now, I found some video before we go into a commercial break. I want to show this to you because this is pretty darn good as well. I found this on X. They're saying these are alien bodies that somebody just stumbled upon in a cave. All right. There you go. Now, check this out. They don't look to still be with us. They've been unalived in some shape or form. But yeah, there you go.
I don't know. See, that just screams bad sci-fi movie. It seems like an ET knockoff. You got your nice spaceship, then you have all the aliens are dressed and laid out. That's just I don't know. I'm of the school, if it looks too good to be true, especially when it comes to aliens. But do you remember there was a movie back in the 80s? For the life of me, it just came to me. It was about an alien ship, and the aliens landed on Earth on Halloween night, and they're full of little grays, but like the main character sounded like Jack Nicholson, right? Oh, wasn't that Mars? Not Mars Attack. Martha's Mars Attack. No, this is a different one. Okay, but it's basically they're the dumb ones of the aliens, and they've come to the right place. They landed on Halloween night, and everybody thinks they're kids dressed up. So that's what I think of when I see stuff like that. It's just too good to be true for my taste. Well, if you saw the video, let us know what you think in the comments below. Maybe, maybe not. Hey, we're going to come back. We're going to be talking Bigfoot sightings galore. They're all over the place. I love Bigfoot. Yeah, you got to love Bigfoot. We got some pretty good Bigfoot videos and a singing mermaid. Yes. Oh, this one's crazy. You got to see it. That's coming up as well. We're back in 1 minute.
When I grow up, I want to work in a lab to build robots.
From classroom to career, we're with you every step. Register for real-world education at hccs.edu.
Things could be stranger, but I don't know how. I'm going through changes now. Could spend a lifetime trying to figure it out. I'm going through changes, through all of the strangeness. I'm going through changes now.
911, where's your emergency?
Welcome back to the Road Beyond podcast. We're going to switch gears from aliens in the sky to now, who knows what it is, but Bigfoot. And Todd and I were talking during the break. We're going to start out in East Texas.
Yeah, we've got some Bigfoot video from East Texas.
I'm from Houston, but I grew up in East Texas, and I tried very hard to find out where this is, but they never actually said.
Yeah.
But where I grew up, just outside of Texarkana, which is right in the corner, we always heard about the Falk monster. Yeah, it was just in Arkansas, in Falk, Arkansas. And there's a store up there. There's everything. It's very well known. So hearing about a Bigfoot in East Texas in that area, not surprising at all. I heard about it since my childhood.
Well, take a look at the video here. These Bigfoot videos are pretty good. This is supposedly in East Texas, no location given, but it's taken by a hunter who was out and you know, East Texas is loaded with woods.
Oh, yes.
You've got a lot of green space, a lot of area, and there are a lot of sightings. They say that's a very active area for Bigfoot sightings.
Well, it's all those piney woods. I mean, that's
the piney woods area
up there through Nacogdoches.
You could walk for days and not run into anybody.
Absolutely.
But you could definitely see something here.
It does. It begins to look a little bit like an ape, but there are no apes out there.
Right. Now people are saying, well, there is a breed of apes that's running around America and North America, but amazing we haven't seen
But that doesn't surprise me at all. Because that area, like you said, it is rife with old stories.
Right.
I mean,
all along that area, Sam Houston National Forest, Huntsville, all that area is very active in the Bigfoot lore. Okay, next one coming to us from Georgia. Somewhere out in Georgia, it's grainy, but it's definitely something there. Take a look at this one here. And this one, from what I remember, you can definitely see something off in the distance. Now, once again, don't know if this is a bear or a human in a suit, but there's definitely something there, and
when
it's pretty darn tall.
Yeah,
it's pretty darn tall.
At first, I was thinking bear, but
bears don't stand like that.
Yeah, and they're not.
We'll show you later.
They're not that wide.
Yeah,
you know. So that one, and it's grainy, which makes it more legitimate,
more authentic. Yeah, out of all the cell phones we have nowadays, no one can seem to get one to focus in on the subject. Of course, you can take a picture of the hamburger eating and send it across the world.
But, you know, there are some that theorize that, you know, in Native American folklore, that these are supernatural beings.
Well, they're saying interdimensional.
Right. And
we may hear more about that tomorrow on the press conference.
They claim that Bigfoot is able to mess with, like, the waves. And so that's why you never get a clear footage. I don't know how true that is.
Why can't we find a dead one?
That's a good question. Some theorize that they bury their dead,
or that they just get scattered. The bones get scattered.
Right.
You know, you're out. Animals attack it. So
yes.
Let's take you out to Provo, Utah. Canyon Bigfoot. Provo, Utah. Provo Canyon in Utah. And this is a Bigfoot sighting that came in here. We're not playing the audio because the guy's cussing a bit. You know, like what the, you know. Anyway, but you can definitely see something walking across the road there. See it across. It's a good distance away. Once again, camera technology, we've got it. I don't know why anybody uses it. It doesn't seem to use it, but then again, they could, the Bigfoot, as you may want to call them, maybe messing with that.
Those Nokia flip phones just don't have the same quality that
Shot
we have
in
now.
1998.
But I don't blame them for cussing, because I think if I ever saw one, like I think I may have heard some growing up in East Texas, but if I ever saw one, I would definitely let out a few words that you shouldn't say on TV.
Did I tell you my sighting story?
No.
I was like probably 7 or 8 years old, and we were I was with my best friend at the time. He's passed now. His name was Mike Delsa, and my parents used to take us to a friend's ranch, in better words, in Louisiana. It was just north of New Orleans. And you know, the adults would go in the house, hang out, have tea, do whatever they do, you know, get lunch ready. And the kids would go wander and explore. And that's what me and Mike were doing. So we're walking along, I guess it would be like a cow path that traverses between properties across several properties. It's not paved. So it's got trees on the side, and both of us are just walking, and we see something. I mean, we're talking at least 100, 150 yards away. The sun is shining towards us, so we see the silhouette. It was big. It stepped on the trail. I mean, we're talking maybe a 12-foot wide trail.
Right.
One step and then it went over.
Okay. Yeah.
You
That's
know?
Bigfoot.
And both of us just turned around and ran the hell out of there. You know, we were like, no, we are not, 7 or 8 year old kids. You're like, no, we won't want any part of that.
You're only like coming up to his knee.
Yeah. And
so
I remember weird, and I've heard this with Bigfoot sightings. We never really discussed it past that day.
well, and there's always been that stigma up until recently that you don't talk about it because everyone thinks you're crazy,
right?
Or that you've been drinking or whatever. So,
well, at 8, I don't know if we were drinking was involved. It probably wasn't.
But I've never heard anybody talk about it like where I grew up with the Falcon Monster. I've never heard anybody talk about it. Everyone knows about it. You hear the folklore, but I've never heard anybody personally talk about seeing it. They just don't like to do it.
And I've heard one of the guys we had on the show, in fact, we're gonna have to get him on again. He's a Bigfoot expert up in Georgia.
Right.
And he had a sighting with his father when he was like 11, and they saw a Bigfoot while they were out fishing. I mean, stepping out of the water, grabbing a fish, walking away.
Really?
And he said he and his dad never discussed it until like a few years ago.
Well,
they just kept it quiet.
It's like what they say about the Appalachian Trail and the Appalachian Mountains. Like, if you hear something, no, you didn't.
No, you didn't hear it.
If you saw something, no, you didn't.
Nope, didn't happen.
You act like it's not there.
Well, speaking of hearing something, you sent this video in.
Yeah.
This is a video of a alleged mermaid.
Yeah, possibly a couple of them.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see it in the water, but
when you see it in the water, it's just, that's what got me. Because you have to watch and listen. We have a little bit of the sound we're going to play for you. Let's go ahead and play the sound, and then we'll talk about it.
What is that noise? Where are you? This is crazy. I heard it. I heard it. I hear it.
Fresh, or something, swimming along. But that doesn't get me. What gets me.
Oh my God.
Yes. And there's even some can hear what they believe is the mermaid calling out.
They used to call them sirens.
Right. The siren song. Right.
That was a big thing back in the days of sailing back in the 17th, 18th century.
Well, the backstory on this is the guy that we see filming it, he was actually below deck and he heard kind of banging on the side of the boat, which you don't normally hear other than the water. But this was something different. And that led him to go up top and start filming. And then you heard what you heard, and it's trippy. It's very trippy.
It's weird, but things have been explained. I could see that being explained because it happened. Obviously, they have it back for centuries.
Right.
They've documented this in writings with the harpies and the sirens, making these sounds that attract the sailors to nefarious things. They wind up dead. But in reality, there is obviously some type of aquatic animal or fish that's making that noise.
Well, this is up in New England. Some believe it's dolphins. And they do make a high-pitched squeaking noise, but this one sounded a little
different.
A
lot more eerie. Well, it's just like when you go out in the woods of East Texas or anywhere where they have Bigfoot sightings, they have that howling noise.
Yes.
What the heck is that? I mean, no one seems to know, and they're saying, you hear that, you hear banging, and you hear like bipedal creatures walking around.
Do you know how the story of mermaids began? They would actually never look like what we've always seen.
Well, because these guys weren't around women for so long and they were so desperate.
Yes.
Well, imagine that.
They would see, they think, manatees up on rocks, and they would have seaweed on them. And from a distance, and you're very lonely, they thought they were mermaids.
You've got to be real lonely.
6 or 8 months out to sea,
real lonely. These poor guys need to get into a port. Okay, folks, we're going to take you from mermaid sightings to our Bear Necessities segment, and we've got some good ones lined up for you. Let's take a break for a minute, and we'll come back and talk bears.
When I grow up, I want to work in a hospital.
From classroom to career, we're with you every step. Register for real-world education at hccs.edu.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Welcome back to the Road Beyond podcast. We are to our segment that we didn't really choose this segment.
It
It kind of chose
yeah,
us.
yeah,
The
yeah.
Bear Necessities. And I never knew bears were so talented. I'll be honest.
I didn't either, and I didn't know everybody. Just the first thing I'd do would just run if I saw a bear.
Yeah,
but you know, people
are
just
out filming.
whip their phones out and say, "Hey!" And it's amazing they can get crystal clear video of bears, but we
Yes.
can only get a shaky one of Bigfoot. This video here we're going to start with. It's been making the rounds for a little while, but I didn't know how long the video was. Take a look at the video. We're not going to play the sound because there's some woman actually talking to a bear. They're in a car. But what gets me about this video is they interact with this bear for a while. She rolls the window down. She's got some bread. So the bear's, but how much trust is going on with the bear? And it gets the bear to wave at him. Bear catches a piece of bread.
Look at that
Thank you.
catch,
Yeah.
though. That catch.
And the bear waves at him.
That was a great
Gives him a
catch.
heads up. All right. So there you go. Waving bear. we
Here's the
like to
thing.
call that.
That's not the first time that bear has done that. He
That
caught
bear-
that too
You saw the
smoothly.
size of the bear, right?
Yeah. He's waved.
He's like, yep, got the
he's
bread.
gotten Chinese food. He's got sandwiches. I guarantee
You
it.
don't need Big Macs in that car. Huh, dude?
Exactly.
Next one, things are getting tough for bear making
Yep.
money, that they have to resort to certain things. Case in point here, take a look at this bear simply lounging around, and I guess times are tough. So the bear is taking up pole dancing. There you go.
Now, let me
Get
tell
that
you.
scratch going.
I've DJ'd in clubs before like this. The bear's got potential.
Bear's got
Yeah,
moves.
I'm telling you.
Coming on stage, we've
Yeah.
got Grizzly.
Forget about one foot in front of the other. It's just
Put your
right.
hands together for Grizzly.
Yeah, that's
There
I'm
you
telling
go.
that's better than a lot of dancers I've seen.
What other shows are you going to get pole dancing bears on?
That's right. Only
Really?
here.
You
You're not
really-
gonna get them in many more
You
places.
don't get them anywhere else.
My favorite is that I love this next one.
This next one, okay, you're just hanging out at your house. Sunday night, you might have been watching the Super Bowl. Who knows? Kind of bored. Next thing you know, the doorbell ring cam goes off. You go to the ring cam and you run into this. Where in the world did bears learn to activate ring cams? I'm guessing food was associated in some form.
It has to be because look, he knows. Look right there. He knows to ring the cam. He's looking around. He's got his buddy back there.
Yeah. I'll get him. Hold on a second. Yeah, let's ring it again. So,
Like,
you know.
Marge, are you home?
yeah, coming to the door. There is the other one.
Yeah.
There is another one walking
Yes.
around the background.
You always have to have a lookout.
Yeah.
Always. You can't go solo anymore. Times are tough and
Times
dangerous.
are tough, man. Next thing you know, they're gonna be dancing on poles.
Yeah, see, he heard somebody. His
Yeah.
friend told him, "Hey, we got
Let's go. We got. We've been made. Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's go. 5-0. 5-0. You know. There you go. Dancing bears and ring cam bears. Nowadays we have those dog treat things where the dog can
yeah.
actually go activate it, and you can be on your phone, and the dog's like, "Hey,
Yep.
you use a treat here," and they learn to press the button,
Yeah.
and it shoots out a treat when you start talking to them. So I guess that kind of works with bears and ring cam.
There's one lady that's made friends with bears, which I don't know. I mean, how lonely are you that you're like, oh look, it's a big fuzzy thing. I'll
Well,
be
you've
friends
heard
with
about that
but it
famous
brings his
guy,
cubs
yeah.
around.
I mean, that famous guy who was shooting a documentary on
Oh,
bears years
yeah,
ago.
that-
And,
mhm.
he made friends with the bears. He slept in their dens with them.
Yeah.
And then when they decided to eat him,
Well, yeah, because they got hungry.
they found, they got the hungry. That happens. And they found I'm serious. They found
Yep.
his footage in his camera.
You can actually, in that footage, I don't think we'll ever play it, but you can actually hear them screaming as the bear is taking care of business. But yeah, we're
Oh
all
my
friends until
Yeah.
grocery prices get too high.
It's
There you go.
getting tough for bears these days. They're dancing and pulling poles. Give them a break, man. It's tough for everybody. Hey, that's a quick half hour. We've had some.
Oh, is it time up already?
It's time is up.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Tomorrow's gonna be an interesting day because
Yes.
tomorrow we get that announcement from that Florida congresswoman.
okay. Here's my prediction.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Nothing.
a lot of nothing.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of
I
talk,
think it's going to be
but
an
I don't think
announcement
we can get
about
there.
an announcement.
Yes, I
Where
agree.
they'll get back to you with more information.
I agree.
But they have serious discoveries.
But we'll have more
Yeah.
of the UAP videos, and I still have another bear video
Oh,
with
of
the red
course.
balloon.
Oh,
so
yeah.
a little fun one, yeah.
We'll have more of that next week. All right. Good seeing you again this week.
Same here. And anytime you can always find us on social media at the Road Beyond Podcast. Don't
And if
ever
you
forget
have
that.
bear videos, send them to
Yeah,
us. You
send
could
us
find,
stuff.
and we actually have a couple of signed autographed books that we could get you as well.
Really?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I do have some.
I don't even have one of those.
No,
That's cool.
because we're going to give them away. Yeah.
Right.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Road Beyond Podcast. I'm Todd Duplantis.